Hello, welcome to the NE Wrestle Podcast, episode 6, back from the Christmas break. We are getting ready, full swing, but first, and as always, give a big shout out to the man, Joe Schleckabeer in Inshore, Nebraska. You know, after a sweet visit prior to the break up at the Logan View Invite, got to see the guy in person, thank him, shake his hand. Gosh, what a privilege it is to know Joe Schleckabeer and have him be a sponsor for the NE Wrestle podcast. We're going to hit on week
the
3.
kids call it glazing these days.
Yeah, well, I
It's
just
a
feel like
glazed donut if I've ever seen one.
sometimes you have to put a little glaze on the donut when you freaking, taking shots all
Thank
the time,
Joe.
No,
so man, just
I
love
got a
what you've been
question
able
for
to
you
enable
guys.
us to do.
Got a question for you guys before
Coming
we
out
dive
hot.
too
Let's
deep.
go. Let's do it.
Do you guys feel 2 pounds heavier?
Kinda.
Oh,
I
geez,
did eat
it's
a
more
lot.
than that.
I don't even want to tell you how many pounds heavier I am than my senior year of high school. Okay, Cody. I know you're excited to talk about a couple events that you attended. Week 3 and then the Deneen. So we're going to talk about week 3 before we get into the, I guess, what do you call them? Holiday tournaments anymore? Is that what you call it? Yeah. So week 3 was a big weekend. Cody was at Platteview and the Deneen, if you call that week 3. Kale was out at Logan View. Cody, go ahead. Like, what did you see out of Platteview and Deneen that sort of stuck out?
I'll start with Platteview. Beatrice is good. And yeah, they put on a show. They won the tournament by 50 points over Waverly and Bryan, Syracuse, all ranked teams that were there. Syracuse was a little beat up, so they didn't have a couple of their hammers, but it was also just really nice to see. A lot of these guys were down to weight, per se, for Beatrice, Bryan, Syracuse, all the way through North Star. There was a ton of really good matches that were going on, and obviously the big one for me was at 190, where you had number 2 Merrick Johnson, number 2 Win from North Star, and number 1 Elijah Fiel from SRC. So in that one, we got to see. Hold on, it's bugging me that I'm forgetting Win's first name right now.
Marcus, right?
Marcus Win.
Yep.
So he defeated Elijah Fiel in the semis, and then went on to wrestle the finals against Merrick Johnson, and Johnson won that one. And then Xavier Zimmerman from Benedictine actually got Fiel 6-5 in the finals there.
Zimmerman's tough. I wonder if he's dropping to 75 or not, or if he's going to stay at 90.
Mount Michael has a couple guys that really stuck out to me, so I was pretty impressed with their lineup. This Quinlivan kid's pretty tough at 38. But then obviously with Beatrice, we've talked a lot about Hanshaw, but it was nice to see Edison Omar, another one of the big freshmen. He got his first championship of his high school career. He beat Caden Caudill, who came down from 113 from Syracuse, 10-1. That was really good win for him.
Yeah, Caudill's good.
Yeah,
it's a good win.
Yeah, so and
it's
then
a good one.
And then Kale, you actually got to see Syracuse on Saturday, so you got to see some of these lineups. And then just a little bit of I don't know, little bit. I know that we talked about it, Drew, with the. I thought there'd be a little bit closer matches. It kind of seemed like those finals it got to be pretty late, and just it was a little more opened up in the finals with some bigger like margins of victory with Tech Falls and majors.
Well, I know we've talked about this a little bit, but I mean, the more you see Merrick Johnson dominate for Beatrice at 190, the more excited you get about that future matchup in store against Riley Johnson. I actually talked to Riley tonight. He's excited about the duel with Millard South tomorrow, and I'm just really excited to see that one.
Yeah, and January
So
20th down in
yeah,
Beatrice.
January 20th. Maybe we should probably go down for that one. Somebody. So we'll move on from Platte View. There's a ton of great matches. We try and recap as much of this as we can.
I don't want to spend the first half hour just on Platte View.
So yeah, Syracuse went over to Logan View. Kale, you saw them. I said this the other day, and I really wish I had the opportunity to post something like this, but Central City won Logan View, which was a good bounce back from them after losing a couple duels to Aquinas and SCOTUS. They beat SCOTUS on Saturday. Central City won. Syracuse is right there. It was a great team race. And then UTAN finished in third, and I really wanted, because they were leading before the finals, and I really, really wanted to post something to the effect of UTAN leads the Logan View invite just like everybody expected.
Yeah.
Because no, I mean, like, I'm sorry, unless you did, but I did not see that one coming at all. So, I mean, great team race. What did you see out at Logan View maybe that kind of hit home?
Well, first of all, hats off to UTAN for competing the way that they did. Obviously, I mean, kind of coming out of not nowhere, but like kind of flexing a little bit of some strength that they had. I think, they don't necessarily have a bunch of guys that are in our individual rankings right now. But with that said, those guys were kind of listed on our bubble going into the final rankings of the first half of the season. So like, hats off to them. They wrestled a fantastic tournament. I know that when we were talking about that and wanting to post something, we were sitting down eating lunch in Logan View, eating at the hospitality room and stuff. So, but that was, I just, it kind of just all day long, I had actually had some individuals come up to us, and it was ironic because we love having the interaction with the people that are listening. Right. And so they came up and they said, "Hey, look what's happening at the team race, like just like you guys said, kind of sarcastically, and it's just kind of like, well, we like being wrong because then it gives us more to talk about, right?"
It does.
So,
yeah. No.
So, when you're wrong on the projections, it just means that there's extra stuff to talk about later on. And so hats off to UTAN. Central City obviously won that tournament, still missing Preston Burbach at the time. But I think like they just wrestled. They got big points out of 113. Bo Brandenburg, like he won the tournament there. Like he had to win in the finals over our number 7 ranked kid James Wells. So that was kind of obviously an upset and a big match. I know that the Central City corner went nuts over that match, and that was granted they should. Those are big wins. Celebrate them when you can. And then we saw number 1 versus number 2 at 106. Ace Schweitzer gets the win over Kale Stussy from Battle Creek, and that was by pin. And
Schweitzer sort of seems like he's in a league of his own right now. I mean, that's how it looked, right?
I mean, to put it in just regular terms, no sugarcoating or nothing, like it was a takedown, it was control, and then a turn and done. It was. So I mean, he's the one being chased at 106 right now.
That was a good weight. I mean, Stussy had a tough win in the semis over Thompson from UTAN to get there, and Caudill from Syracuse, who we talked about from Platte View, he was right in the thick of things there. He got third, I think. So
yeah. And Schweitzer pinned his way through. So it's going to be an interesting what can get into his way, moving forward, I guess. But moving on, the match between Jace Martin and Philip Streff. That was pretty good. Martin controlled that match. Do
you think there's any chance he stays at 120, or is he for sure going to 13?
It's interesting. With that win over Streff, I'm not sure if they move or not, but I know they were talking. When I was talking to those guys, they were talking about it. It's still up in the air. So, I mean, you just kind of wait and see. I guess we'll see on Saturday where he weighs in, with the Wood River duels, but
right,
see what they do there.
I mean, that's interesting. It's going to be something to watch because Barton, I mean, he's tough, very tough. Who's number 1, and Streff's number 2, and right. Martin went out and controlled that match. I mean, you got to feel good about that one if you wrestle it again too. So
yes. Now Haney's coming down from Battle Creek.
And he
So
did come down.
Yes, today he wrestled 120 at Newman Grove. So like that makes a big difference because he won the Logan View invite up at 26.
And he also beat
So-
Martin there last year, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, something to think about, I guess.
Yeah, I mean
it's exciting though, man. I don't know.
Yeah, some of the other stuff like he's 38 stuck out a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna be hammering Central City weight classes because
Well, they had a good tournament. They had
had a
nine
great
guys that
tournament.
won the tournament.
And Quinn Jensen had a great tournament too. Like that was with Ashton Kuhar, Tristan Cisco, Zegers from Milford, Suka from Scotus, and then the freshman from Stanton, Royce Hansen, who's really good too.
Mhm.
And there's actually Cesar Kaup from Logan View was in that bracket, a qualifier a year ago. So I mean, there's quality dudes that didn't even medal at the tournament, and Quinn Jensen went out and really handled business with a dominant win in the finals over Kuhar. So, I mean, hats off to them. They just wrestled really well.
How
There's
does
a
that
couple
change
others.
the landscape in Class C? And I know we sort of talked about this a little bit, right? Because Battle Creek was 5th at Logan View. Now I think there were maybe a dozen or so points out of first, like it was that close.
Mhm.
Logan View 4th, UTAN 3rd, Syracuse 2nd, Central City won it. I know Battle Creek was down a few guys, but does that sort of like Battle Creek sort of been our number one kicking out the season? Do you still feel good about that now that maybe their guys have moved down in weights, or is it more?
I would still feel, to answer your question, I would still feel good about it, even if they weren't moving. I know that our rankings were reflective of them all dropping down. We've had them already been dropped in our rankings. And so like the state points that we have projected are based off of them having dropped. Now, if they didn't drop, I don't necessarily know if that changes a whole lot. I would guess, obviously, because the kid that they get to slide into the lineup now is Ashton Kuhar's little brother, Keaton. I think it's Keaton. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like it looks like after today, he wrestled pretty well today. You know, he's going to be, I think he wrestled Maverick Heine 4-0. You know, Heine won that match, but I mean, that's a big indicator that you're kind of on par with somebody that's been there, you know. So you bolster the lineup, and I just think that, you know, like you get 5th at a regular tournament like this. I know Hunter Cruz, you know, he forfeited out after getting beat, you know, so he default to 6th. That you lose those team points. You didn't have Schneebel at 75. You know, there's some other teams that were not having everybody either. But those regular season tournaments, like it just kind of depends on how the bracket strengths fall, you know, like, you know, guys that are getting bigger points because brackets aren't as good and vice versa and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't really change my mind because we do it all the stuff based off of state points. So
you want to wrap up anything on Logan View that you wanted to touch on, or are we good to move on?
How was the fried chicken?
They
didn't have fried chicken. It was hot beef. I know.
Yeah, it was
I
different.
know, man.
It was good though.
it was good.
Logan View just dropped out of my top 5, so sorry, guys.
I don't know if we're gonna be back now.
Oreo fluff?
No Oreo fluff. Nope.
What?
So I know, crazy.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, that's like the Price is Right, you know, like that.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
You know, we're a little sugared up off of break.
Oh, that's good. Oh my goodness.
So I think we're good on Logan View. It was a great tournament as always. So.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the fracas a little bit. Grand Island always hosts a great event. I mean, this year was really no different. And Cody, I know you'll have some stuff to add probably on this as well. I'm going to sort of focus on the girls' side of things a little bit. I was impressed again with Norfolk. They were the highest finishing team for the girls from the state of Nebraska. They got 2nd. They beat several great teams from other states. Kearney was 4th, Lexington 5th. I think Lexington's still kind of like jostling their lineup around on the girls' side. Sloan Abbey out of Kearney had a really good tournament. She went 7-0 and she was a wrestler of the week in Class A. Beat numerous girls in the top 10, top 3 girl from Colorado. So great event for Sloan Abbey. Great event, honestly, for Kearney High girls and the boys. I know did well. They got second too. The Grand Island girls were 6th. Millard West was 9th. I think Millard West is sort of trending a little bit on the girls' side of things. And Platteview also held a pretty good girls event, which we can get to that too. But Bellevue East, sorry, I'm going to catch some flack for that. Bellevue East won the Platteview girls invite, another good, solid tournament that they host. That one used to be one of the big ones on the schedule before girls wrestling was even sanctioned. Omaha North got 3rd there. Overall, on the girls' side of things, I know that we talk about West Side a lot, but they also wrestle a really cool schedule. They sent a bunch of girls down to the KC Stampede, where Adeline Grazier actually won the whole tournament. And I can't remember how many teams there were. I think all the brackets were over 32 girls in each bracket. Macy Barber got 2nd at 235, and then Mara Vanderpool got 3rd at 105. And we're talking national level competition, which I think is only going to benefit West Side later in the season. They went over to the Wonder Women event in Columbia, Missouri today, the last 2 days. And I mean, they didn't even really get a day after moratorium to practice. They just went and wrestled. And Adeline Grazier got 2nd. She's now at 155, which if we're going to, I know we're going to touch on girls' weights, but Grazier's down at 55, and then Macy Barber is now at 190, down from 235, which I think was expected. But I mean, that's kind of the Grazier one was not to me, because she wrestled 170 last year. So once I heard that, I was kind of surprised. So yeah, the Fracas girls event was good. And then let's move to the boys. Did you see the Grand Island win over Kearney?
No, I know they won. I did not see, visually see it. But yeah, I know that they did win that over Kearney. Grand Island had a really good week altogether. 7-0 at the Fracas, and on Tuesday they beat North Platte. So they were doing really well. Columbus got 3rd. They went 7-1.
And they lost to Kearney in the semis, right?
Yeah.
Kearney beat Columbus. Okay.
So yeah, that's not too in depth as far as teams wise.
Well, the dual tournaments get a little harder to get into the individual stuff. I mean, it's harder to look all that stuff up, and let's be real here, nobody wants to hear us talk about that for the rest of the day.
I mean, if you want, you can go look at the Class A review, and it has every ranked match from week 3, win or loss. So there's a lot of Fracas results on that.
That's a good reason to go in there and check that out. I agree. So shout out to Grand Island. That was really impressive.
They were the Class A team of the week as well.
Class A team of the week. Kearney got 2nd. They've been on a hot go here.
Yeah.
And they have the stage duel on Friday this week, Kearney versus Grand Island. It's in Kearney. It's part of the Flow Wrestling, the best dual environment series. It's escaping me what they named the series, but I think it's going to be probably a well-produced thing, and we'll have somebody there kind of capturing some stuff from that too. But that's going to be awesome, I think. And Kearney's been promoting it and selling it pretty well, and so hopefully they fill that place up, and it's just kind of straight fire, honestly.
So, and I know we won't probably have an episode out before it happens, but then Kearney turns around and duels Lincoln East on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So,
nice. And Lincoln East was 5th or 6th at Fracas, I think.
They were 6th. They went 5 and 4.
Okay.
But Lincoln
We're missing guys. We're not seeing the final boss version of Lincoln East just yet. Yeah.
They also did have a couple big injuries though for season enders, but they got a couple guys that'll be back by Bennington Saturday, which we'll get into by the time we get to the previewing this week.
Yes.
Hey, I have to say one thing about the Fracas.
Say it.
Just because DT sending me the gear. They were at the Fracas, And one thing we saw, obviously, shout out to Easton Widener, dude. That dude went 8-0 on the day in the tournament. So big day for him. And then also
you just couldn't get through it. You couldn't show everybody your shirt. Now's the chance. You got and the hat. Yeah, and the hat.
Yep,
you got the "We Are Donovan Trumbull" shirt on, and the Donovan Trumbull hat, and of course he's talking. Yep. Can't. Okay. All right. Shout out.
Hey man, you got to rep it. You got to rep it, man. When I came home. I got a quick story about this, real quick. Obviously, come home from my hometown in Ord from the holiday, and there's a nice big package sitting on the doorstep, and I'm like, "What the heck is this?" And open it up, and here's my gift: a freaking hat and shirt and a crew neck shirt from Donovan Trumbull. Like, my goodness. I feel like a legacy now.
We are Daenerys Targaryen.
I didn't even say the name right. Oh my gosh. I'll get you a Donovan Trumbull Cardinal glazed donut. Glazer of the Year award.
Oh man. Yeah.
But that's cool. You know what? I will say, credit to them. I mean, I know they're probably in the mix for a state dual berth and going to Fracas and Russell and a lot of those teams that are bigger schools, but bigger lineups, all the things. Like, it's good competition for their guys, and kind of shows you where their focus is maybe a little bit, but nonetheless pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
I want to talk Class B girls, and probably I'm going to tie this in a little bit to C boys, but the Pierce girls and boys both won their home invites last weekend. Credit to both teams. The boys dominated the duels that they have. I think they had a close win over Fremont, who's Class A, but probably pretty cool for the home crowd to see that. I know they had some music playing and some Christmas sweaters going, and overall vibes pretty good. The girls have been doing great. I know that Pierce has kind of like a three-horned monster with Essence Owens Webb, Isabel Streff, and Isabel Keeler. They all won the Pierce girls invite. I don't know that they would have been predicted to win that thing, honestly, going in. So they finished ahead of B number 2 Battle Creek to do it. So credit to Pierce. Adams Central girls kind of continue to do their thing. They won Cambridge last week, and then I think they won the Conestoga Spotlight today. Battle Creek got second at Wahoo, and Pierce, Westholt, they've won several tournaments on the girls' side. They got second out of Cambridge behind Adams Central, so that's a good opportunity to tie in, a couple teams that are probably 2.5, maybe even close to 3 hours apart. In Class B, Lakeview's looking good still. They've kind of been a staple the past couple seasons. The Central City team, they're young, but when they're full strength, they've been really good as well. So kind of my little quick rundown on Class B. There were some good matches today out in Conestoga. I want to shout out Maggie Feeney at 155. I always thought it personally, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I've said this before, but I think it's really hard to wrestle in front of your home crowd. Did you ever feel that way, Cody? I mean, I just thought it was like I don't know, something was weird about it. I was never nervous about it. It was just weird. And Feeney Law was losing. She's a returning state champion. She was losing in the semifinals and got a reversal and a pin in the last 20 seconds to win.
Dang.
And then in the finals, kind of the same thing. Ended up getting it done over Zanaya Baca from Adams Central, who's a beast and is going to compete for a title against her. So good matches out there. I mean, that's just kind of the quick rundown. You got to see Kaylin Harrell, the Scott girls were there, Omaha North was there, and then a lot of Class B teams too. So overall, pretty good event. Before we move on to what's to come and what's going on this week, anything else, fellas, from last weekend?
Deneen invite.
Yeah, knock it out.
Creighton Prep, who's still missing a bunch of guys, won their invite by 150 points over North Platte, who only brought 7 guys. It was a great tournament. The 144 brackets, the one we were all excited to see, and it turned out to be just that. Obviously, Dortch was not available. He's sick. Omaha North only brought 5 guys. Like most of their team's sick, and then they also sent a couple of guys to OPS duels on that same day. Bunch of their JV guys, but yeah, they only brought 5. So George was not there, but we still had an amazing 144-pound bracket that Cameron Green from Creighton Prep ended up winning in the finals. Whoa. And
Yeah,
then
he beat Kirk Wilson in the
yeah,
final.
he beat Kirk 6-3. He got a late takedown. Very like I think it was about 10 seconds to go. Got a takedown to win that.
He went
Wilson,
down. He got it. Green had both the takedowns, but he went down in the second period, and
yeah,
maybe wasn't the best choice. Wilson's pretty tough on top.
yeah, yep. And then Wilson beat James Ferguson in the semis, and that was Ferguson's first loss of the year from Elkhorn North. He has
Well, and
been
Ferguson and Higdon had a close one right before that,
yeah,
too.
yep. That
Jeez.
was a 7-4 match with Higdon. And then on the top side of that bracket, you had Green beat Geschke, who's 5, and then Ferguson won by medical forfeit over Geschke in the 3rd place match. So that 144 bracket was insane. A couple of the big matches, 138 pounds was a lot. Ian Hardy got a takedown to take a 2-point lead with 10 seconds left. Miles
It was
Sanchez,
close. Everyone's saying that wasn't a takedown. I'm gonna be like, it was close.
yeah,
In real time,
yeah,
it was very close.
yeah,
So I think what's crazier after that is that there's 10 seconds left, and within 10 seconds there was an escape and a stall call with like 3 seconds left to send it to
yeah,
overtime, which makes it sort of seem like a makeup call
yeah.
a
That's
little
what
bit.
I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh
So there
man,
was that got sent to overtime. Sanchez gets the takedown in overtime to win that. 157 goes to overtime with Griffith from Creighton Prep and Mass. Is it Mass or Moss?
I say Moss. I don't know.
Grady Mass from Wayne, and that one Griffith gets a takedown in overtime to win that.
Well, that was very similar. There was
Yeah.
like two stall points
2
given
stallings. Yeah.
in the last minute of the match
Yeah.
to take it to overtime.
And then the heavyweight match, we got to see number 1 Preston Wagner versus number 2 Roberto Macias Sidzik. And that one was, the score shows 7-2. That was a way closer match than the score indicates. Sidzik.
I love you, Cody. You're just not on the Preston Wagner train all the way yet.
Oh, it's nothing.
Oh.
It was
okay. I'm not
4-3.
like I just okay. You're good. Keep going.
It was 4-3, and Sidzik went for a takedown and didn't get it, and Wagner did to make it 7-3. So after Wagner got hit for 2 stallings, so
the stall calls were flying in the prep finals. I will say that.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very end of the day, I guess you can say at least it was consistent, right? But dang, if that wasn't like close to having some major impact on some matches. But I guess, if it's happening, it's happening.
Yeah. And like you said, at least it was consistent throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know as much on the early rounds, but yeah, that the finals were, they were a flying. But I mean, Sidzik's a great wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Like we knew that he was gonna put some pressure on Wagner, and it was gonna be a decent match. And I imagine we'll probably see that one again, probably time or two more, maybe in the state finals. So prep this weekend, they're going to the Clash, which used to be in Minnesota. I think it's in Wisconsin now. Do you remember when the Clash was? I mean, it's still
There used to be
It's like used to be like the tournament, because I think like Scott used to go.
Scott and Grand Island Northwest always went.
Yeah. I think Senior High went a little while, like back in the Reedy era, and like when they were winning all the time.
Yeah.
The Shadwinkle days. So that's going to be another challenge for prep. We've talked about their lineup.
Prep did get some good news today.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, right. I think they're expecting to have Caniglia and probably Ornelas back soon,
Yeah.
and potentially for this weekend in maybe a limited capacity.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, like I'm not, without diving too far into the dual scoring things, you can't, like, there's nothing higher than Class A, so it's not like they're wrestling up a class. So if they're losing a duel, they're not getting that many points. So you can't go to
Yeah.
the Clash. They're already 2-2 in duels because they had that tough one in Iowa that they went to
Yeah.
with missing 5 starters, and then they have this one, which there's a pool, and like they're going to get several duels. They have to win duels, or
Yeah.
else they're not going to Kearney, which may not be priority number 1 for them, but we all want to see them. We want to see
Yeah.
them duel.
Grand
And they're going to see
Island,
Scott.
Kearney.
They're going to see some of these teams. They're like, we want to see them wrestle everybody. So hopefully
Yeah.
they're healthy, and hopefully they can. I mean, they sort of did last weekend, but hopefully
Yeah.
they can really show maybe the national scene what they're capable of with close to their full lineup.
Real quick, that's all I have for prep. Do you want to give us a live review of where you were at tonight?
Oh, sure. Like a little breakdown for Millard
Yeah.
South and Bennington. Well, here's the thing with Millard South, right? I don't know if everyone's quick to write them off last year, but they actually came really close to beating Prep in a duel last year. And this year they've been a couple guys slow rolling in the lineup. They dropped Brady Danzy and Maxim Rogers down to 50 and 57 from 57-65. That's putting Bjorn Paulson, state qualifier, in the lineup at 65, who's pretty dang good.
Yep.
And then the Wash brothers, transfers from Kansas, I know one of them wrestled a match earlier this season.
Yeah, the heavyweight.
But this is MJ, the 215, who is a third placer, I think, from
Yeah,
Kansas.
he got third in Kansas.
He's got some hip tosses. He's got some good movement. He's decent on top. Like, he looked pretty solid at 215 tonight. I think Millard South Millard South beat Bennington by 13 points, and Bennington beat Lincoln East.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to kind of, it sort of seems like Class A is Creighton Prep, and then you have Grand Island, Kearney, Columbus, Lincoln East, and Millard South that are maybe all capable of getting second.
Yeah.
And, depending on how things go. So I was pretty impressed. I was impressed with Bennington too, man. Even the guys, they were missing Welchert at 13, and they were missing Warner at 32.
They also had some weight changes.
Yeah, they had one tonight.
Yeah.
Brody Scobie is down at 38, which I think he'll probably be the top guy there. He wrestled Mink Tough. He lost 4-0. Mink, who obviously is just phenomenal, is just very hard to score on. Scobie got in deep in a shot in the third period, and Mink scrambled out of it. I mean, he was like, back was bowed underneath, and they called potentially dangerous. But just to even not give up that takedown in the first place was pretty impressive. And then I don't think it was going to end up going anywhere regardless of that call. And then I think Braden Kreckmeyer from Bennington will also go to 144. Bennington not always,
Yeah.
but I remember a couple years ago when they did that.
They dropped the whole lineup.
They dropped the whole lineup down a weight. And I still kind of think that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I still kind of think that they may do something yet with the bigger part of their.
Well, especially because we've already seen Mostick come down this year, and
he can make
number one kid in Class A.
But that would mean that Buafecchio, Buafecchio would probably have to drop to 75 if Mostick was going to go 90. I think Thompson's pretty legit 215.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing. And guess what? At the end of the day, they have like 2 or 3 guys in that 38 range that are good. And that's going to benefit them a lot in duels. Like, they're going to be able to have some serious flexibility later in the season. And I think, everyone's excited to see their duel versus Scott, and we'll get maybe a little bit of an idea tomorrow or today, probably by the time this is posted, but Scott and Millard South duel as well. And
150 pounds is going to be elite.
Yeah. So we'll have to post this before, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Ziola and Danzy at 150 tomorrow will be awesome. Yep. What else we got this weekend? What are you guys excited about?
Well, honestly, Wood River Duels is going to be pretty fun. Just from a Class
really
C
good.
perspective, obviously, Pierce is there. Probably highlighting in terms of ranked teams, I suppose. But then Syracuse is there out of B, who's deep in their roster. Aquinas from Class D, Amherst, who's been quite the surprise from a depth perspective. They actually wrestled really well out at the Valentine Invite in week 3, which is still a pretty deep tournament. So they have been performing really well. And then Raymond Central is there, and I'm missing a Broken Bow is there.
Broken Bow. Mm-hmm.
So, and then obviously I think it rounds out with Gibbon, Wood River, and I can't remember the final team there, but so apologies to that. But anyway, Raymond Central always has a good solid lineup up and down. I'm not sure that they have quite the guns to compete at the same level as a Syracuse and a Pierce and all that in dual setting, but I would not count them out. They are on the bubble in terms of being a team in the mix for the state duels and also within our rankings. And I think that's highlighted with some of the Van Lanningham boys. Like, they've come along pretty well and wrestled really well in the week. Well, one of them did. I can't remember which one it was, but they wrestled super, super awesome in week 3. So I think it's just one that's going to be fun to watch on Saturday.
Who do you think's going to win?
Well, Syracuse's depth is going to be tough to beat. I think Pierce is obviously going to push them the most. But it's going to kind of depend on the gaps or holes that Pierce kind of has in their lineup. Like, they have plenty of high-end talent. It's just it's going to come down to bonus points. Do they get bonus in those positions? Because Syracuse is solid in almost every weight, or competitive in every weight. So I think it was a fantastic
Aquinas
duel.
Has a bunch of flexibility as well.
Yeah, and I mean, not to count them out, obviously, but it's just going to be they duel that with 2 pools, and then you win your pool or get second in your pool, you cross pool and you wrestle the other 2 that are synonymous from the other pool. So you're going to be wrestling the best duels you can possible after the pool play. And so I'm actually debating on whether or not I want to go down to it. Just because it's always a fun one to watch. So maybe get some clips and stuff out of that. But otherwise, actually out of this weekend, I don't want to go fast forward too much because there are some good matches that happened today up in Newman Grove in Class C, where Cedar Catholic was competing, Battle Creek was competing, Boone Central was competing. And some of the finals matches, Summerland was there and Ethan Kester was back in the lineup. So some of those matches kind of wanted to talk about.
Do it. Yeah, just jump in. It's crazy that we're back to competing, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so the Newman Grove, there was some pretty big matches. There was an upset or 2. Do that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of start off with, I think it's 26. No, not 26. I'm sorry. 32. So we had just talked about previously how Keaton Kuhar is able to come into the lineup for Battle Creek, right? Well, but he wrestled today at 32, and Maverick Heine from Cedar Catholic dropped to 32 finally, and they wrestled in the finals, and it was a 4-0 win for Maverick Heine out of Cedar Catholic. So kind of tells you again, obviously, where he is, what kind of talent he has, and then there was a crazy match, not 38, 40, nope. Sorry, 50 at 150. Yeah. So Bodie Hochstein, Cedar Catholic, undefeated, obviously. He's ranked number 1. Wrestled Ethan Kester, who we just mentioned, in the finals, who Kester had to win a 12-10 match over Ashton Wiesner out of Lincoln Northwest and to get there, and then wrestled Hochstein 5-3 in the final. So we have Kester ranked number 4, and obviously Hochstein as number 1, but pretty close match, obviously. So, so those are kind of some of the results, I guess, just from today or Tuesday, as you guys would see this, that were big ones. And then obviously Darren Dozler from Boone Central, number 2 ranked wrestler at 65, beat Brady Hochstein from Cedar Catholic 7-2. So those two will obviously switch spots there with the head-to-head between 1 versus 2. And, that puts a little bit of interesting twist on some of the team race because, I mean, if you were to put this on paper after this result, that hurts Cedar Catholic in the team race, obviously, if that was the main.
Are they going to drop weights? Because we've had Bodie and Easton at 44 and 50. That's like one of the lingering questions that's getting me right now is, are they? I mean, because I think Bodie can get to 38 and Easton maybe 44 and Brady down there too. I mean, maybe we're not done seeing lineup movement. Maybe they're going all. Well, maybe they're all going down. I don't know.
If they, and maybe sometimes the results that happen and take place maybe change these things. Like with that loss to Dozler, maybe everybody jumps down one. Because they don't have a lot of wiggle room, right? You have to maximize points because you're not getting those points from a depth perspective, from a team's perspective for the state title in Omaha, so they have to maximize position and play that game. Like, where are we going to win? What brackets are we going to win? Blah, blah, blah. Right. And so like, I think an interesting piece to that is where does their 44-pounder right now, Hunter Kukta, where does he fall into place? Obviously he has to fall into somewhere wherever the Hochsteins don't go, because
he can go to 38 too.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just going to kind of depend because right now 38 is loaded in Class C, so I'm not sure. Maybe they drop one of the Hochsteins. Maybe Easton goes to, is it Easton that's at 50? Bodie's at 50 right now.
Yeah.
So Bodie goes down and
Easton
switches
maybe,
with Kukta.
Maybe, yeah, because Easton, I don't think. I mean, he just beat the returning champ Brendan Bowling in week 3. So I mean, Easton's. He's not having those close matches. I mean, Bowling was an OT win, but like he's up there.
It's so interesting.
Questions, I guess, outside of it. I mean, I know that they want to win a state team title, so they're going to do what they can, and they have the room to do some shifting. So maybe they will.
It's going to be interesting because I was kind of talking about this with you over break. Like the idea of the other of the twins, Easton, beating Bowling. Like, you have to be playing the game of like, okay, we can neutralize points from Pierce that way too. Instead of running, you want to stay there potentially and play that game of like, well, maybe it might take taking away 4 points from a finals match in the team race to win the whole thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know, like, where do you want to, I mean, personally, if my opinion mattered, which it doesn't, I would drop Bodie to 40 or to 44 and put Kukta up to 50, because right now 50 is the one that looks like it's the weakest of all all 4 of those weight classes, from 44, 50, 57, and 65.
A little bit of intrigue. I man, I don't know. That's why the coach is going to decide, right?
Yeah.
What else today? Was there anything? I mean, I know we talked about the Millard South Bennington duel. Newman Grove, Ord had their dual event. Central City had a nice win over Northwest today. I think they had a couple kids kind of make some comeback wins that sort of determined that duel. So Central City's kind of riding high. They both go to York on Friday. I know there's still other events like Shelby Rising City, Bennington. Pleasanton's going to have a good Class D tournament. I think there's 25 teams in that one. This week, I think that's Saturday.
Can we hit on Shelby Rising City real quick?
Can we, or should we?
Can we?
If you want to.
Okay, Shelby Rising City. I'm just going to name a couple weights right now because it's going to be electric. 113, you have D's number 1 and 2 with Wyatt Forney and Guy Wortman, with C number 2 Eric Prado. And then at 138, D's number 1, 2, 4, and Class C number 7 are all there, with Drew Dog, Colt Kramaric, Owen Krafka, and Carter Suka. And then you have at 215 in Class D, number 1 and number 2, Coy Verbka and Wyatt Steib. So there's going to be a lot of really fun matches at Shelby. I'm still torn on if I'm going to go to Shelby or if I'm going to go over to Bennington duels. Because, yeah, that's pretty exciting, and Shelby's not too far of a drive.
Yeah, dude. Personally, Loganview. While I was at Loganview, we were at the Shelby Rising in City tournament, and I mean, it wasn't always like. I mean, it's some new teams are there this year because Burwell hadn't been there. SCOTUS hadn't been there, so it's interesting to see some of the changes there and what they did to bolster the tournament a little bit. Not too many changes, but man, there's a lot of Class D firepower in that thing.
Yeah. And then at the Bennington duels, Lincoln East gets Noah Ingerson back this week, so he will be there. He's going to be at 157, and that'll be for the remainder of the year. And Chase Cole will be there 150. So that's a couple changes there for Lincoln East. Their 190 is done for the year, but I'll leave that there. Couple other things. The 190, Andrew Rubino will be up the remainder of the year for Buena Vista. So that's kind of throws another name in there at 190 pounds in Class A. But should we see a Bryan Lincoln East matchup, since it is a dual tournament? We could see Kyrie Thomas Callaway versus Caden Engel, which is a huge match at 113 pounds. And then Wahab Unle made his debut at the OPS duels last week, so he is now down at 6 for Omaha Bryan, name to kind of keep an eye on. If we get an East Bennington duel, that's going to have ranked matchups all up and down the lineups. I think 138 would be my favorite one to see with Scobie and Sean Stanton.
That would be a rematch from Fracas where Bennington won that one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But the lineups are different now, so
Oh, yeah.
We'll
Yep. So that's going to be – that's where my eyes will be at on Saturdays, those two tournaments. Haven't decided where I'm going to go yet between those two, but if you guys want to rock, paper, scissors, one of you guys can go to Shelby or Bennington, and I'll do the other.
Shelby would be a closer drive for me than going to Wood River, and I was already at Wood River once.
I didn't realize that over half the number ones. That's crazy. That's a good tournament too. I mean, Shelby Rising City and Pleasanton. Those are a couple good ones to kind of keep an eye on the smaller class front, if you will.
I have to say, man, I already touched on this, but the Shelby, with that number of ranked kids, wrestlers at that tournament, that's way deeper than it's been in the times that we were up there. Just hats off to them. I know that Coach Kuhn's been wanting to bolster that a lot.
You got the top 3 teams in Class D. That's one heck of an event now.
He kind of talked to me last year a little bit about what the vision was for it, and he had said what teams he wanted to bring in. And I know at one point he had told me that he thought that St. Paul might be interested in getting in. And so if that ever came to fruition, with how they've been as a program, man, obviously even tougher. So just kind of crazy.
They got teams from all 4 classes there.
Oh, nice. That's always cool when when those get in there. That'll help us with our all-class rankings that are almost done. We're getting there. It's harder than you think.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Well, and it makes it even harder because, we had it pretty close. Well, then you have another tournament where, okay, well, you had all these guys that just wrestled. Then you have another tournament. Then you have another tournament. It's
then you're speculating on some weight drops too. At the end of the year, after state's over, we'll be able to probably. There's going to be more data and information and stuff like that too.
But it's always fun to put something out in the middle, just to kind of talk and.
Yeah, no, we'll get those. That's going to be soon. Hopefully,
here's one for you. I mean, this is not a good not a great tournament by the paper, but because of who's hosting it, it's a crazy story because of what they are as a program. Takema Herman is starting a dual tournament. This is the only event that they host from a tournament perspective. Like and I don't know. Drew, maybe you would know, but I don't know if they've ever had an individual tournament ever at their school, and with what they have been in the past under Guy Mitty and all that, like in the history that surrounds Takema Herman Wrestling, that if this is the first tournament that they've ever put on other than hosting a district, like, or a conference or something, like when they're in the East Husker or whatever it is, whatever conference it is that they're in, like, good for them, because like that's a huge piece to building a program, right? And if they've been able to be to the pinnacle, obviously through the past, without having their own tournament, like it allows them to kind of start piecing it back to that direction comparatively to where they were. Because like 5 years ago, I don't think they even had a qualifier. It was somewhere in there. Like they had no qualifiers. Like it was unthinkable from a standpoint of that tournament.
Well, they have a facility to have an event now, which helps them a ton.
Yes,
and then they also have really good support on the youth level. So you're right. I mean, they're going to want to watch. It's good. It's good for the program to have a good youth program that's be able to go watch their mentors or maybe part-time coaches or whatever get to compete. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, and they obviously have they're a big presence in wrestling because they host a huge youth tournament, like in March, and so like they have some of that going on. But from the high school perspective, it's good to see. So it'll be interesting to see how this dual tournament starts to get some traction, and maybe get bolstered a little bit or add some teams where it's not just 6 teams. They do it where there can be some pool play and blah, 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 all that stuff.
Hey, Cody, Beatrice and Waverly today, 12:31, New Year's Eve. That's potentially maybe we get Olson and Carlin this time, huh?
Yeah, finally.
Well, we'll see. Who knows? But
yeah.
I mean that's one to look forward to. Columbus and Scott duel on Friday. I mean, I haven't ran through the lineups and how that breaks down, but I mean,
57
like,
number one versus number one.
Yeah, you'll have potentially Booze and DeVetter at 13, which is kind of potential exciting one. I know the Booze and Townsley match didn't disappoint from the CB Classic.
50 will be tough too.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be that's going to be a good duel.
75 with Delano should be down.
How about a lot of those matches are going to be good?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Delano's going to either wrestle Rotella or Johnson, right? So maybe we hold those all class rankings.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like that the rest of the year, but
yeah, I know.
Oh man. The Milford, Syracuse, David City triangular is always a good one. And like Milford was pretty. I think they were 6th at Logan View. So I mean, they're right there. That's 3 really good teams again. The Fighting Kale Streeters of Donovan Trumbull, dual Battle Creek. That should be a relatively good duel and honestly a good opportunity for in the Class C side to see, okay, again, we got Northeast versus sort of Central, good tie-ins for rankings for what we like to do.
Yeah.
Thinking selfishly here, it's nice to have Battle Creek. Did we mention the Battle Creek that Honey or Haney and Thompson dropped down? We did.
Yeah, we just kind of flock shooted it with their whole shot it. Shot.
This weekend on the girls front, I mean, all eyes on Winnebago. I think there's 38 girls teams that are competing on Friday. We'll be streaming that one for the first time. Please give us a little bit of grace. It will be a really cool event. They're running 5 mats. Team-wise, I think Norfolk goes. I know Battle Creek's there. So you have number 1 in A, number 2 B. I'm not going to recognize. I mean, geez, like there's Fremont solid. Lexington makes the trip over there. Millard South, if they bring their varsity, which I think they will. Millard South might be the team to beat. Honestly, they beat Norfolk in a duel. West Side, those girls, I believe, are going to sort of see their first in-state tournament of the season because they were in Donnybrook in Iowa, Council Bluffs in Iowa, KC Stampede, and the Wonder Woman in
They were
Missouri.
at Weeping Water, weren't they?
No,
Okay.
no, you're talking about the Crying Creek duels.
Yeah.
That Millard South was.
Okay.
Yep, and Millard South won about everything in state that they've done as well. They went to the Stampede, but a couple girls kind of fell out with injury. So if you're a girls wrestling fan or want to, in my opinion, see at least up to this point in the season the best in-state girls tournament that we've had. I know Summerlin's good, South Sioux City's good, Stanton's good. You're gonna get to see probably as many marquee matches in one place that we've had until maybe next week for the men's because I know that one's gonna be really good too. And the Millard West, they have a good one. I think they do. It's like the Millard West girls event, if I'm remembering this right. If I'm wrong, I sound like a total idiot, but they do like the queen of something, and so they actually have like a throne.
Yes, they have a throne.
If you win the tournament,
that should be next Saturday because next Friday is the boys tournament.
Do they give him a cape and a crown and a little freaking, what do they call it? Like a little,
like a staff.
Yeah.
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Oh yeah, the pictures are awesome.
Yeah. And Antonio took some pictures from there last year, and they turned out awesome.
Queen of the Mat, isn't it?
It's Queens of the Jungle, and it's Saturday. It's this week.
Oh, it's this week. Okay,
it's this week. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're
looking. Invites next Friday. So
okay for the boys. Okay, yeah. So no, they double dose of Millard West. But I know that one's good too, and you're probably gonna maybe see a little carryover from, from Winnebago, probably, perhaps. But I know Millard West, that one's really good. Conestoga has some hammers. You have Fort Calhoun, who is really good today. They were maybe third at Conestoga. The Kearney girls are there. The Lincoln East girls are there. UTAN goes. Millard West has obviously some really good girls on their team. So, I mean, it seems like, just quick glance here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 schools from the Omaha area, and then probably about that many from other areas too. So back to back, if you again like to follow girls wrestling, or you have a daughter or something that's competing, these next, I guess, Friday and Saturdays might be about as good as it gets from a quality of competition standpoint, especially now that, like for girls, it used to be there was these big tournaments every weekend. Well, now, naturally it was going to happen. Some of those teams that used to have 30 teams now have 18, and there's still good matches, and you're going to get good finals, but some of these are going to have like probably 5 to 8 ranked kids in there. So a lot to be excited about. The Huskers duel Northern Iowa on Saturday. That's like a top 20 duel, I think. Northern Iowa was at the national duels, as was Nebraska. Nebraska I thought they looked pretty good against Oklahoma State. You guys, I mean,
we missed out on previewing that a lot.
I know. I thought
I kind of forgot about that, but that was a fantastic duel, really. When it comes down to it, at the time, it felt like when Brock Hardy got pinned, it was like, okay, that's going to be tough to come back from. But then we put into position.
Dude, if we lost the last 2 matches, oh my gosh, it was so close. And that's what you want. I mean, in front of the largest crowd ever at Devaney, you're getting competitive matches, exciting stuff. Cade Ziola comes out there for the first time, for Nebraska, Cade Ziola. Like that's awesome, right? Like that's what, hopefully we get to see that and see the homegrown kids have those opportunities. We've got an awesome team to support in Nebraska, and just because Northern Iowa is not ranked number 3 or whatever 5 in the nation, I mean they are a good team, and they beat us. They beat us last year on their home turf this exact same weekend. It pissed me off. I love the Schwabs. Allison Schwab's a great human being, and I love the way the Northern Iowa people wrestle. But I'm obviously not going to be cheering for them in any capacity here in a couple days.
Well, it's just kind of interesting because, like it was such a big deal to have a sellout crowd and a huge crowd and all that stuff. And Nebraska usually shows up in large quantities and a lot of things, but it has just to be, for argument's sake, like the crowd size can be better on a more consistent basis. And so if you like, when it comes down to high level recruits and that kind of stuff, wanting to wrestle for high level programs, Penn State always shows up with their crowd. Iowa shows up with their crowd. Like that's one of the ways that Nebraska fans can help bolster the atmosphere for a duel.
Yes.
Make it an exciting place to. I mean, not that it's not exciting, but I mean, it can be better. It can be better. Everything can always be better, right?
Yeah.
So, like, show up, be freaking loud, get rowdy a little bit, within, obviously within reason,
and they
have a lot of fun.
And they're now they post on social media, so it's okay to say, like, you can put your ticket requests in for NCAAs right now. I mean, it sells out. It's in Cleveland this year. It's a little bit of a drive, but I've been to the NCAAs the last 3 years, and I mean, last year in Philadelphia, I mean, there was actually a pretty good contingent of Husker fans because I mean, I think maybe some people sort of felt something special kind of coming, but it was like it's the coolest thing, right? I think we were ranked maybe 7th or something going in, and then we got 2nd, and the vibes are so high. You start winning those matches, and the crowd's cheering. There's signs up in the air, "Go Big Red." I mean, it was phenomenal. And I mean, not everyone's able to do it, and I know it's a financial thing, but like, man, if you can go or like are curious about it, go. It's awesome. It is so stinking awesome. And guess what? These are the years when it's a little further away where it's easier to go because there's only a certain amount of tickets, and that the teams are going to be able to allot. That's why they call it a ticket request. Just because you want them doesn't mean you're going to get them. So if you have a chance to get them, it's probably, your odds are probably a little better when it's 15 or 12 hours away, wherever, how far Cleveland is. I know I'll be there. I'll get off my soapbox, I guess. Before we wrap up, any quick hitters?
Yeah. Manning did announce that they are working on a 10-year deal with Oklahoma State for the next 10 years back to back.
Yep. Like they were talking, like, and he credited Taylor, at least the little deal I was in, the Zoom thing I was in, he credited David Taylor for wanting to make that happen, which I think is a kind of a cool. If you don't know who David Taylor is, he's Olympic champion and the head coach of Oklahoma State.
If you don't know who David Taylor is, you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
You never know. There's probably new people to the sport. But he credited David Taylor, like, they want it. They want the home and home. They want it to be a thing. And I think, a little bit of the jawing and stuff, like, during that duel, like, it's only going to make it more fun. Yeah, I mean, like, to head to Gallagher Iba Arena here after a while, I mean, next year, like, that's going to be it's going to be fun. And those are the opportunities and the things that sort of help sustain Nebraska as one of the top echelon teams in D1 wrestling. So that is very cool that's going on.
I got a quick hitter.
Do it.
Just because we kind of missed it a little bit, or I missed it because it's a combination of this weekend and Friday.
Donovan Trumbull, Easton, Widener.
No.
What else? Oh, okay. All right.
Now you're just making me sound dumb. All right. Anyway,
I'm just messing with you. All right. What is it? Sorry.
Syracuse has an incredible opportunity on their dual schedule this weekend. Because before they go to the Wood River duels, they have two duels on Friday with David City and Milford.
Mm-hmm.
So those are big ones.
The Rockets.
And then Broken Bow, Amherst, Pierce, and Aquinas, I think, are pretty much like guaranteed to be duels at the Wood River dual tournament. So, like,
nice.
Those are huge, like, huge. This is like a huge weekend for them to like establish themselves as probably that would solidify. If they win the majority of those duels, you're probably in the state duels, I would guess.
If they get first in both of them, they'll be the Class B team of the week. If they win if they do that.
If they go 7-0 in duels this week.
Yeah.
And they're going to be healthy.
Goebel's back in, and
Yeah.
okay.
There you go.
Peterson. Yeah, good. Good. Yeah. Hopefully, it always sucks. Injuries part of the sport, but you want people to be healthy. You want the best matches. So stay healthy, people. Make good decisions. Don't be silly.
Make
Caleb,
sure-
do you have any questions for us, man?
No.
No, not this week.
The heck?
Second time in a row.
Third for me. I'm all excited.
Oh, I never have them for you, do I?
No.
Okay.
So I'm
I'll
gonna
make sure I get some.
I'm gonna kind of make sure to shout out the whole team at NE Russell. I'm shouting ourselves out. This week is a big one. We had Conestoga today streaming. We did have some streaming difficulties. It's part of it. New tournament, new wires, Ethernet, everything. Anytime something's new, there's some stuff you got to figure out and learn from and get better from. But this week we have Conestoga Girls Invite. We have Millard South Bennington today. We did both of them today. We have the Millard South Scut Duel tomorrow, which is going to be awesome. It always is. And then on Friday, the Winnebago Girls Invite. And then this weekend, we're helping put on Winter Nationals with IA Wrestles. So literally 5 days of wrestling, 6 different things. Next week, we're doing Burwell and the Manstedt Girls Invite and the Manstedt Boys Invite. Like, if that doesn't just get you jacked up for some sweet wrestling and hopefully, the coverage that you've come to know and love, photos and maybe even some videos and things like that, like, we're only going to keep getting better and hopefully you guys can appreciate what we're doing. I know not everyone likes to pay for premium content, but a lot of the stuff that we offer is free. So I have to bring it up.
Yeah, geez, how many times have we had to go exchange stream kits over the last few days?
Yeah, and we're not done either. I have to get some from Sean tomorrow or in the next couple days to take to Winter Nationals, and then we have to get the ones from Winnebago to Columbus and the ones from here from Winter Nationals to Columbus and Burwell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean there's a lot to it, guys. We're driving around, we're doing this stuff. We have to get hotels and
a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people
we're spending time
don't
away
see.
from our families and it's always part of it, but hopefully and thank you, I guess, to the people who do take the time to subscribe and get way more details than they get when we do these podcasts. There's more information in these recaps and previews than you're ever going to hear from us in an hour to hour and a half show. If you subscribe now to Rockfin, you're going to get the next 2 months, which are January and February, for $30, and you're going to get everything. So the district previews that are coming out, which is, it's worth its weight in gold right
a month
there.
away.
And I can't remember how we have. I know we talked about the tournaments we have the next few weeks, but we have Schuyler, we have Lexington, we have the NSWCA girls duels, we have a conference tournament and the youth tournament, and then it's just going to be fun, and subscribing helps us support the people who are going around taking the pictures, doing the videos, doing these things that everyone gets to see for free and consume for free, and then at the end of the day get mad when they have to pay $15 for some of the best content you can possibly get. So thank you to everybody who does take the time. Thank you to Joe Schluckabeer in Shore, Nebraska. Thank you to the crew at Heat Tech Industrial who help support our dual content and dual rankings, which we do release for free. Thank you to everyone who's kind of been a part of this, and it's nice having Kale here now. Cody and I have been doing this for a while, but the goal is to grow and the goal is to improve and get better. So that's my
question.
thing.
I have a question after you said your thanks.
Yeah.
So talking about all the events that we are streaming, we can stream obviously multiple events on a weekend or on a day now with how many kits that we have, correct?
Yeah.
So if people are interested in potentially having a tournament or something streamed, like, hit us up and we'll talk, about that kind of stuff,
boy.
Right?
That's a scary thing to put out to the universe, man.
Hey,
that's a scary thing. You have a lot of people.
I'll take the conversation.
Kale's heading to Crawford next week.
You need hardline internet. We cannot do anything with Wi-Fi for the
it's never Wi-Fi.
No, depending on the size of the event and then the people in place to help run it and
Yes.
the knowledge they have about doing this stuff and the internet capabilities
And track.
right. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. We absolutely want to do more, but just next weekend alone, like we're pretty much tapped out, and then this weekend with Winter Nationals and Winnebago, we're tapped out. So I mean, there is some availability.
I'm just
But
saying.
yeah,
future
no, I
reference.
think, I mean, the goal is to book the schedule as much as we can. I mean, I will say that it is the most stressful thing that we do, and we appreciate your grace, especially
Mhm.
as we add more tournaments that are new. And then obviously, understand that it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. Everyone loves to hate Flow Wrestling. They do a great job streaming events, and sometimes things don't go right, and so, most of the time it's something that's not in their control. It's usually an internet thing, or some guy that's working remotely from somewhere resets a switch or something. It is so crazy how all this stuff works. So I did want to sort of take the time to at least bring that up, and maybe people can have a little bit more of an appreciation or understanding of how it all goes, and a couple things that subscribers can look forward to coming up outside of the streaming world. All class rankings, and then next week we're going to be doing a new set of rankings for each class, and there may be a 1 week gap somewhere in January, but I think most weeks we're going to probably just do a new set of rankings, unless there's not quite enough to justify that. So hopefully you guys are getting your money's worth. What else, fellas? Anything before
Hey,
we call it?
coaches. I don't care if you're A, B, C, D, boys or girls. I'm a size XL. Send your gear. I will wear it proudly.
Someone's jealous,
Dude. I'm next week I might put a list of teams that I have like good rapport with the parents on Omaha Scott, and I don't have anything Omaha Scott.
Yeah. Yes. Scott.
And
Millard
yeah,
South. Come on.
yeah. A couple years ago when Millard South and Scott dueled, we had any wrestle shirts on every single
Yeah.
chair in there. All right. Okay. Words to be said. I'm gonna chase Olson and DeBetter down pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
I
no.
haven't got my yearly shirt from Beatrice, so if they want to,
Now that Kale's getting geared up here,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to get out the glaze machine and just start glazing all these teams a little more.
Oh, jeez. Well, if you
Sorry,
need
that's such a
some
dumb
help
thing.
on how to glaze.
I need some help on how to be an almost 40-year-old and not say stupid things like glaze or 6'7". We just need to avoid it.
that is
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
I think that's it.
Thanks, Joe Schluckbeer.
Yes. Dearest Joe.
Dearest Joe.
Oh, dear Joe. We love Joe dearly.
Thank you, everybody, for
Gosh.
watching. It's this. We have fun doing this, and hopefully you guys have fun watching. Appreciate y'all.
Somebody